Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Snook and here to talk to y'all about this little bald-headed situation I got going on right now. I recently flew to Istanbul, Turkey to get a hair transplant, y'all. And let me just say, y'all, this is my third time filming this video. The first time I filmed it, okay, so I've lost 50 pounds in the last 4 months. But for some reason, when I was recording the first video and I went back and looked at it, it was giving big back energy. So I was like, oh no, delete. I had to delete the video, grab me a little jacket, and re-record the video. And so I did the second video, and after I got through, I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared. So here we are again, third time's a charm, hopefully, and hopefully we get it right and I don't have to do this again. Yeah, today I want to talk to y'all about my whole process with getting the hair transplant in Istanbul. Want to give you, take you on a journey with me from start to finish. I plan on doing I don't know if I'm gonna do a monthly update, but probably like an update every 3 months, just to let you know how everything is progressing. But yeah, y'all keep watching and let's get into it, y'all. Okay, so my hair transplant journey actually started 2 years ago. So I had reached out to Longevita, that's a hair clinic in Istanbul. I had reached out to them back in 2021, early 2021, and got a quote for $2,400. So with all the clinics there, you have to do a virtual consultation through WhatsApp, and you'll send them pictures of the front of your head, both sides, the top and the back. And you also have to answer like this health questionnaire, and then they'll give you the quote. So I had reached out to them back in 2021 and they gave me a quote of $2,400, and I was ready to do it. I was hesitant at first just because I had friends and family in my ear talking me out of it, but then the Sagittarius in me kicked in and I do what I want to do. Like anybody that knows me knows I don't care about nobody's opinion. I'm gonna do me. So I was like, I'm gonna do it whether I have their support or not. If I have to go over there by myself, then that's what I'll do. But by the time I had the nerve to book the appointment, I found out I was pregnant, y'all. So I had to put my plans on hold. And so now my son is 18 months old. So I was like, okay, now it's a good time for me to book it. And also, I wanted to take him with me. Like I want to travel the world with my baby. So anywhere I can go, I want him to go with me. So I reached out to Longevita again and got a new quote. Had to go through the whole process again, but got a new quote, and surprisingly the price was cheaper. So the first quote they gave me was $2,400. This one from this year was $2,054. And so the $2,054 quote included up to 3,000 grafts, 2 nights at a 5-star hotel. I do this because from the reviews that I watched from the girls that went to them, they did not put them in a 5-star hotel. They didn't put them in a dump, but it wasn't a 5-star hotel, so that's why I did that. And then the quote also included transportation to and from the airport. It did not include inner city transportation, so your transportation to the clinic, you'd have to figure that out on your own or pay them extra to do it for you. So I was ready to book, but I just needed, my mom was going to go with me so she can help take care of my baby boy while I was getting the procedure done. I just needed to get her schedule worked out with her job first. So once she had her dates, what dates worked best for her, worked out, I reached out to Longevita to try to book the appointment, but I got crickets. Straight crickets. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna trip. It is another country. and I'm not the only person reaching out to them trying to get this procedure done. So I said I'm gonna give them a few days to respond. So I think I waited 2 to 3 days for a response. Crickets, y'all. And reached out again, more crickets, and reached out again, more crickets. So I'm like, what's going on? And so then I reached out to them through email and also through their Instagram. No response. I was like, oh no, I'm not about to be traveling to a whole different country to get this procedure done, and then when I get back home I can't get in touch with nobody. So I started looking to other clinics, and I stumbled upon one called Heva Clinic, and they had a lot of Black patients, which I love to see. So reached out to them, did the same process that I had to do with Longevita, sending the pictures, filling out the health questionnaire, and they put me in touch with a consultant named Jan. Loved Jan. Jan was so amazing. He answered every question I had. He was so patient with me. If he didn't have the answer to a question, he would tell me, I don't know, but let me reach out to the doctor and I'll get back to you. And he always did. So sent Jan everything, and Jan got back to me and said the doctor feels like I'll be a good candidate for a hair transplant. And they gave me a quote for $2,600, and that was for the Sapphire Fue transplant. Longevita was doing just a standard Fue transplant. And I think really the only difference between the standard Fue and the Sapphire Fue is just the type of blade that they're using. And the Sapphire Fue has a quicker recovery time. So it included the Sapphire Fue transplant with anywhere between 3,000 to 3,500 grafts. It also included PRP, a PRP treatment, which they would give me at the end of the procedure. 3 nights at a 5-star hotel. So Longevita was only doing 2 nights. Heva was offering 3 nights. And they also offered transportation to and from the airport and to and from the clinic as well. So theirs included the inner city transportation. So I was like, okay, this works for me. I'm not getting a response from Longevita. And even though this quote is higher, I mean, they're including more in their package than what Longevita is offering. Like just the PRP session alone, other clinics will charge you anywhere from $200 to $400 to add that to your transplant package. So that was okay with me. But I was like, Jan, is this price negotiable? Like, what can y'all do? And he was like, let me get back, let me get to the, or talk to the doctor and I'll get back to you. So I was like, okay. And he got back to me. He was like, okay, so we can take off $200 if you're ready to go ahead and book the procedure now. And there was some Turkish holiday going on. So he was like, we can take off $100 as a holiday incentive. And oh, so let me just say, with the Turkish holiday, that's why Longevita wasn't responding. So after I did everything with Heva, I finally got a response back from Longevita, and they told me the office had been closed due to whatever the Turkish holiday was. And so that's why I hadn't got a response. But anyway, so Jan was like, it'll be $2,300. And I think I just needed to pay either $200 or $250 to do the deposit for the appointment. So I went ahead, he sent me the link to pay it. So I paid the deposit, and then the remaining amount you pay in cash before the procedure when you get there. I asked if there were if they had any other payment methods you can do, because I really don't like traveling with a lot of cash. But he was like, you can use a credit card if you want, but we ask for cash to help you avoid paying their tax over there. So if you were to use a credit card, it would be, I think it was an additional 20% that they would have to add to the total in order for you to use a card. So cash worked for me. So yeah, I booked my or paid the deposit, and he just needed me to send him over my flight itinerary so he can go ahead and get the transportation arranged. So I booked our flights through Turkish Airlines. So the flight was like $1,600 each. And it would have been cheaper, like if I had booked my appointment a couple of months later, the flight would have been cheaper for that reason. Also, we picked our seats, so like my mom that was traveling with me, she wanted to make sure she was sitting by the window, and then with me traveling with my 18-month-old, I wanted to make sure I got somewhere that had a lot of leg room. And then also I was flying with Turkish. So with Turkish Airlines, they have seats where you can get a bassinet put in front of your seat. So, you know, I had to pay a little extra because it's a 12-hour flight. So I want to pay that extra just to make sure my baby would be comfortable and get a peaceful night's sleep while we were on the plane. So I booked our flights, and Turkish was the only airline that offered a direct flight. I did not want to do any layovers, especially traveling with a toddler. So yeah. So we left on the 16th that evening to fly over to Istanbul. We arrived the very next day, the 17th. And y'all, once you get off the plane, so to get from the plane to the exit where you meet with the driver, it's like a mile. It was like never ending. It just seemed like we were never going to get to the exit. But we finally, like after a little over a mile of walking, got to the exit and saw the sign that they told me to look for our driver. And so the driver came up to me and he was like, are you looking for Heva Clinic? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, okay, come with me. I was like, hold on. I said, can you show me something with my name? Like, I need to make sure that you're who I'm supposed to be with. And so he showed me the paper that had my name. And so I was like, okay. I was like, I'm just trying to make sure, you know, I'm trying to be safe. And he understood. So he took us to the parking garage, and we had to go down this elevator to get to the lower level. And they had like a Mercedes Sprinter van waiting for us. And so we rode, you know, from the airport straight to the hotel. Y'all, Istanbul traffic is on a whole nother level. So just imagine Dallas, Houston, LA, New York traffic all rolled into one. That's what it was like. It was horrible. So our hotel was only like, I want to say 15 or 20 miles away from the airport, and it took us almost 3 hours to get to the hotel because their traffic is so crazy. So yeah, we got to the hotel. They put me initially at this hotel called the Didi Man or Dedi Man Hotel. Before we left, I looked up reviews for that hotel. They had amazing reviews. So I'm thinking we're about to get 5-star treatment. When we got there, like the lobby was nice, but once they took us up to our room, it was downhill from there. First thing I wanted to do was take a shower. So I'm taking a shower and I look down and there's something on the shower floor. It was like hair or something. I don't know what it was, but it shouldn't have been there. The shower should have been clean. That just roasted me out. Then, you know, the toiletries they give you in the bathroom, there were open toiletries in the shower. So that let me know that it hadn't been cleaned. And then also, like with the procedure, so once you get the procedure done, you have to basically sleep sitting upright for 2 weeks. So my mom and my baby were going to sleep in the bed, and I was going to sleep on the chair in the room, chair covered in stains. Then, not only that, I asked for a non-smoking room. There was an ashtray in the room, so that let me know it was a smoking room. My mom said she smelled smoke. I couldn't smell it, but she smelled it. And then not only that, Jan told me that the room was supposed to have a washer and dryer in the room. The room had nothing, absolutely nothing. The view was horrible. Like, it was just, ugh. And so all I wanted to do was just go get my baby something to eat. And I reached out to Jan. It was late at night, so we went up to the rooftop restaurant at the hotel to get my baby something to eat. And the service there was trash. Like, when we first got there, they told us to, go sit wherever we wanted to sit. And people came in after us and they served them, but totally ignored us. And my mom went and found somebody and was like, my grandbaby needs to eat. This is what we want, and you need to hurry up and make it. Any other time we would have left, but we're in another country. It's late at night. We don't know where to go, so that's the only reason we stayed. So after my baby ate, we went back to the room, and I reached out to Jan on WhatsApp to let him know, like, the room is trash. And I had mentioned that the other videos that I saw from the girls that went, they were put in a hotel called the Bourgeois Jean. So I was like, why were we not put there? So Jan apologized and apologized and apologized so many times, and he was like, we're gonna get this right. And the next morning, he had a driver come pick us up and take us to the Bourgeois Jean. Night and day, y'all. Night and day. That hotel, the Bourgeois Jean, is beautiful. I love the staff. Everyone was so sweet. It's so clean. They gave us a room with a city and an ocean view. Had the washer and dryer. It was so clean. Like, I love that hotel. If I ever go back to Istanbul, I want to go back there. So we went up to our room. And we got there a couple of days or a few days before my procedure because we wanted to explore the city. I didn't want to just go there just for the procedure and come back home. So we enjoyed Istanbul for a few days, and then it was time for my procedure. So I had my procedure done on August the 20th. So I went down to the cafeteria to go get breakfast because I think the shuttle was coming to get me at, I want to say 7. I think it's 7 o'clock or 7. No, it was 7 o'clock. I was going to say 7:30, but no, it was 7 o'clock because I had to be down there super early to get breakfast. They want you to make sure you eat a good breakfast since you're going to be there for a good 7 to 8 hours or longer potentially. And want to make sure you don't have any dizzy spells or faint or anything like that. So ate breakfast and then went and got on the shuttle, and there were 2 other African American dudes on the shuttle with me that were going to the clinic. So get to the clinic, and they took each of us to our individual rooms, and they took my blood, and the doctor came in, examined my head and did my hairline. And when I looked at it, it wasn't matching. And I said something, and they were like, one of the technicians was like, well, you don't want them to be identical because then it doesn't look natural. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I said, I'm not looking for twins. I'm looking for sisters, okay? Sisters with the same mom and dad, okay? So they rearranged, or she fixed the hairline and to my satisfaction, and we were good to go. So after she drew the hairline, then they take you into the washroom, and that's where they shave your hair. And so they asked me, was I okay with shaving my whole head? And I was like, yeah. So you don't have to shave your whole head, but the amount of the donor area that they're going to take, you're going to look a fool if you don't. So I was like, just cut it all off. Plus, I want a fresh start. And with me, like, once you get the procedure done, you have to wash your hair every day for like 2 weeks. And so it was going to make washing my hair easier. So just wanted to do a fresh start. So they shaved my hair and then took me back into the room where they drew the hairline, and made me get undressed and put on this robe. And what did they do next? So then that's when they were no, I'm sorry. Then they took me into the room with the guy where he was going to take my money. So they took me into the room with the guy that took my money for the procedure. And then they took me back into the room where I had to get undressed and put on the robe and get ready for the injections, y'all. So when they were like, okay, we need you to lay face down, I was like, hold on, are y'all about to do these injections? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, where's my Xanax? Y'all not doing nothing until I get a Xanax. So they stopped and gave me the Xanax and laid down and had to prepare myself for the injection. So I don't care how many videos you watch of people getting this procedure done, them injections hurt. They hurt so bad. And you do have the option. You can pay extra. I think you can pay like $500 extra to be sedated for the 5 minutes it takes for them to numb you up. But in my opinion, it's not worth it. Take it like a G and get through it. Like as they start doing more and more, you start feeling less and less and less. So now when they do the ones in the front, the ones in the back hurt. But the ones in the front hurt even worse, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, nothing can prepare you for that pain. It hurts so bad. But I just thugged it out and did what needed to be done so I can get this procedure done. So once they had me all numbed up, they started extracting the grafts from the back of my head. And the doctor came back in to just do the slits in the front of my hair where they were going to insert the grafts. So the whole procedure took about 8 hours, y'all. 8 long hours. But thanks to the Xanax, I was like in and out of sleep. So although it was a long 8 hours, it really didn't feel that long, just thanks to the Xanax. The Xanax was Xanaxine, okay? So once the procedure was done, they told me to sit up slowly, and during the procedure, they kept asking me, did I want to stop and eat? And I was like, no, I want to get this done. Let's get it over with. Once I was done, they were like, but before you can go, you have to eat something. So they took me out into the lobby and they fed me something that was kind of like, I guess it's like the Turkish version of fajitas. So I ate a couple of bites of it. Like my nerves were too bad to eat. So my translator was standing next to me while I was eating. I was like, look, this is all I can eat. Is that good enough? And she was like, yeah, they just want you to have something on your stomach to make sure that you don't faint. And so she was like, stand up and tell me if you feel weird or anything. So I stood up and I felt fine. So me and another guy, one of the guys that rode with me that morning, he was done with his procedure as well. So we got into the van to head back to the hotel. So got back to the hotel, rested. I think I got room service, and got some rest that night. I didn't feel any pain. The next morning, I had to get up again to go back to the clinic for your head washing. So got up early again, got breakfast, got back on the shuttle with the same two dudes that were on the shuttle the day before. And so we got back to the clinic and they had us all sitting in the lobby, and they put this foam on all of our heads while we were sitting in the lobby. Like, I saw videos with people complaining about them doing it in the lobby. I didn't care. I mean, we were all there getting the same thing done. So it didn't matter to me. And plus, you know, from watching the other videos, I already knew what to expect. So I wasn't triggered. You have to let the foam sit on your head for 20 minutes, and that's just to soften the scabs on the recipient area. And then they called me back into the washroom and they washed the foam off, and then they put like a shampoo on my hair and washed it off, and then sprayed some type of saline solution, I guess, on my hair, and then sent me on my way. They sent me over to like one of, I guess, their sales rep, and she was just giving me my aftercare instructions, and then she tried to sell me some additional aftercare, like some mesotherapy. It's like a derma roller and a serum you can inject in your scalp. I wasn't doing that. Or they recommend doing additional PRP sessions. I didn't buy any of the additional aftercare, just what I needed. And then that was that. I went back to the hotel and rested up and got ready to head back home the next day. So the driver came and picked us up, drove us to the airport. Y'all, their airport is crazy. Like, you think our TSA is crazy, theirs is hella strict. Like, we had to go through, I know, at least 6 different checkpoints and put our baggage through like little scanners 3 to 4 times. Even like once you get to the gate to get on your flight, to board your flight, you have to go through that all over again. It's crazy. And let me just point out, when you get to the airport, you're probably going to feel lost and don't know where to go. So if you're traveling back to the United States, you want to go to J. I had watched another girl's YouTube video, and I'm so glad she pointed that out, because we would have been so lost and wouldn't have known where to go. So if you're going back to the US, you want to go to J. And traveling or walking through the airport was fine for me. Like, my mom couldn't believe how confident I was walking through the airport and wasn't worried about people staring at me. People looked, but I looked right back. You know, it's other people. It's so many other people walking through the airport with stuff. Like, you see girls that came there to get their body done. Or I saw a dude, I guess, and his girlfriend, him and his girlfriend, they were boarding our plane. They had nose jobs. And then you see so many men walking around with headbands from getting a hair transplant. So everybody's going over there for something. So yeah, I wasn't tripping off, you know, how I was looking. I was just ready to get home. I just wanted to be in my own bed. So we got on our flight, got home, and now I'm just starting my journey. So I haven't felt like any pain. They gave me pain pills with my aftercare. I haven't had to take a single pain pill, not even a Tylenol. Like, I felt zero pain. And now I'm on day 8. Only thing I'm experiencing now is really bad itching, and it's just itching in the donor area, but that's a good sign. It's a sign of healing. So what I'm able to do to relieve that is I keep aloe vera gel in the refrigerator, and I can rub that on my donor area, or I keep some saline solution next to my bed, and I spray the back of my head, you know, whenever I feel the need to itch, or I'll just rub it, but try to be gentle. But that's it, y'all. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did, I can always do a follow-up video, but just wanted to, you know, go over the process from start to finish with getting this done and flying over to Istanbul. I will continue to do more follow-up visits. I'll probably, or not follow-up visits, follow-up videos, probably like every 3 months maybe. And then y'all can leave questions and comments, you know, in the comment section, and if I see that I'm getting a lot of questions, I'll do like a follow-up video just to answer those questions. So yeah, so y'all stay tuned and please continue to follow me on my journey. Hoping that me sharing my journey encourages someone else to take the plunge and get this done. Like, I wish I would have done this years ago. But yeah, so that's it, y'all. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all